Okay, it's a bizarre story, and if I were you, I wouldn't believe it. I wouldn't believe it if I hadn't have lived it, honest to God. But I'm just going to tell it to you, and I'm leaving out a lot of the juicy parts because I don't have much time. But I have to constrict it. I'm sorry about that, but I'm going to go through it very quickly. Also because I don't really like to dwell on it. So it was about late 2014 when I began to become physically very weak. I didn't know what was happening to me. It happened very suddenly. I was always a person who hit the floor running, and I would go out and get on one of the many beautiful trails that we have in my community in Wisconsin. Beautiful trails, miles and miles of them, and I would grab my dog, and together we would walk at least minimum of 3 miles a day. Usually we'd go 3, 6, sometimes I'd go 3 times, go out 9 miles walking. So I was always a very energized, energetic person, and my little dog was right along there with me. And it was my time to meditate and commune with nature and get balance in my life. One morning I woke up and I couldn't get dressed. And I actually laughed about it because I was so stumbly, I just kept tipping over every time I tried to put on my pants, and I couldn't tie my shoes. And I thought, well, maybe I had a stroke or something. And it continued to deteriorate my health. But I also was very disoriented. I became very foggy-brained, and I became angry. The anger was something that was really baffling. I could see I was getting older, and I thought, well, this must be what it's like. But the anger, I didn't get what that was about. I had gone through my awakening in 2008, 2009, 2010, right in through there. I had quieted the voice in my head, that ego voice that's always chattering, I was blissfully free of that. But now I had another voice, and it was saying nasty things to me. It was saying, why don't you just give up and die? Today's a good day to die. Why don't you just end this struggle? It was nasty. It was awful. I didn't know what was happening until one morning between Christmas and New Year's in 2014. Got up and there was blood splattered on the sheets. And I looked at it, and I called my partner, Jim, in to look at it, and we agreed that it was not from a scratch or any kind of a wound or anything. It was blood splattered, as if you took a paintbrush and you just kind of flicked it. It was splattered over the middle top area of the bed over quite a distance. Didn't make any sense. A bloody nose, a scratch on you, nothing would do it. The blood had been splattered onto the sheets. I got upset, and I stood by my bed, and I demanded to know what this was. I couldn't get an answer. I think I was too enraged to hear the answer. It took me a little while after I had stripped the bed and was washing the sheets, putting clean sheets on the bed, when I heard the answer, an implant was removed. And I said, I am not supposed to have implants. I demand to know, what was this implant? And I didn't get an answer again for a while. Again, I think it was because I was upset, and also in that weakened condition, I wasn't quite as clairvoyant, maybe. It took a little bit until later that morning. They show movies, those of you who know how this stuff works, they show you movies. And they showed a movie to me it was in my bedroom, and there was a body hovering above the bed, a good distance, probably 4 feet maybe, above the bed, and there were 4 or 5 beings around this body. It was very dark, so I couldn't make out much of anything, but my sense was that was me, and they were doing something, and then there was a jerk, quick movement, and I understood that that's when they took the implant out. I couldn't see where they took it out of me, couldn't see much of anything, except that I could see that it was the Draco that removed the implant. It was not my guys. That was very clear to me. Totally different group of ETs.